At just 16 years old, James Packer was on the streets. His mother had passed away when he was a child, and his father, battling a losing fight with addiction, had disappeared one night and never returned. James was left with nothing but a small backpack filled with memories of a life he once had and a heart full of unanswered questions. Nights were the hardest. Sleeping under bridges or in abandoned buildings, he'd stare at the stars and wonder if anyone cared that he even existed. Hunger gnawed at him constantly, and the cold seeped into his bones. But James made a promise to himself every single night: this isn't my end. It can't be. One day, while lingering outside a coffee shop hoping to grab leftover pastries, James overheard a group of businessmen talking about flipping items for profit. They mentioned buying old furniture, fixing it, and selling it for much more online. To James, this sounded like a way out. He didn't have a home or money, but he had time and grit. The next day, he walked for hours until he found an old, broken chair tossed out by the side of the road. It was battered, but James saw potential. He borrowed a few tools from a nearby mechanic who took pity on him and worked on the chair through the night, sanding and painting until it looked brand new. He didn't have a phone or computer, so he went to the public library and used one of their computers to post the chair on a marketplace. The next day, it sold for $40. For James, it felt like a fortune. James began scavenging for discarded furniture every chance he got. He'd fix up tables, chairs, and old lamps, selling them online and saving every penny he could. Slowly, he started making progress. But life on the streets wasn't just about survival, it was also about navigating trust. One night, James crossed paths with Marcus, another homeless teen who seemed friendly enough. Marcus claimed he had connections that could help James grow his small operation. Desperate for any support, James agreed to partner with him. At first, things seemed to go well. Marcus helped him find more items to restore, and the sales began to climb. But one morning, James woke up to find Marcus, and the small stash of money he'd saved, gone. Everything James had worked for was stolen. James was crushed. For the first time in months, he felt the weight of hopelessness pressing down on him again. Sitting on the cold concrete, tears streaming down his face, he considered giving up. But then he remembered his promise to himself: this isn't my end. He started over, this time more cautious. He doubled his efforts, picking up pieces wherever he could and pouring his energy into creating quality work. He learned to trust only himself and the process. Months turned into a year, and James managed to save enough money to rent a small storage unit where he could keep and work on his growing collection of furniture. He began to attract loyal customers who admired his craftsmanship and his hustle. Then, a stroke of luck changed everything. One of his customers turned out to be a local interior designer who loved his work. She introduced James to her network, opening doors he never could have imagined. Orders started pouring in, and for the first time in his life, James felt stability. By the time he was 22, James had built a thriving business called Second Chance Creations. He had employees, a workshop, and a steady stream of clients. The kid who once slept under bridges and begged for scraps was now generating millions in revenue. But success didn't erase the pain of his past. James used his story as fuel to create something bigger than himself. He started a foundation to help homeless teens learn skills and find their footing in life, just like he had. "I don't blame Marcus anymore," James said in an interview. "In a way, he taught me my most important lesson: not everyone will believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself enough to keep going." James Packer's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and self-belief. If a homeless teen could rise from the streets to become a millionaire, then no matter where you are or what you're facing, your story can change too. What's stopping you from writing the next chapter of your life?